Welcome to Orioles Digest. I'm your host, Kam Brice. And before we go further into the video, hit that subscribe button. If you're a part of the percentage, let's change it today. Come join the channel. I'm giving you daily updates about the Baltimore Orioles that I don't want you to miss. We have breaking news. Corbin Burnes has just signed a 6-year, $210 million contract with the Arizona Diamondbacks. This is a sad day for the city of Baltimore. We all wanted Corbin Burnes back. We knew it was a long shot. But now seeing him actually in Arizona, a lot of people wonder why. And one MLB insider has some good insight on that situation. John Heyman from the MLB Network said in a recent article, Corbin Burnes turned down more money per year and overall, but the big benefit in addition to the $35 million per year, low state tax in Arizona, and an opt-out after 2 years. He and his young family live in Phoenix area. Bob Nightingale also said Corbin Burnes had bigger offers from San Francisco and Toronto. This is not something the Orioles fans wanted to wake up to. I got that message around 2 a.m., turned over my phone. I was half asleep, looked at it. I thought it was going to say Corbin Burnes has re-signed with the Baltimore Orioles, but I got the bad news. I'm not surprised, honestly. Corbin Burnes is going back home. He has 3 children. His wife, his family lives there. So at the end of the day, he chose his personal decision. It wasn't about the money. The Baltimore Orioles could have offered him the most money in MLB history, but he still chose Arizona. It was about the living situation and what's best for Corbin Burnes. And honestly, I have to respect that. No bad blood. Corbin Burnes, you go out there, you perform. You're still one of my favorite pitchers I love to watch. But it's sad not seeing you in a Baltimore Orioles uniform next season. It's just the Baltimore Orioles have this perception of the franchise that they don't spend big on free agent pitchers. And agents around the MLB are not going to let their guys sign to teams that's not going to protect them and their families for the long run. Now, the Arizona Diamondbacks are in a good position right now. They already have one of the best rotations at baseball. Then you add Corbin Burnes, who's back home with his family, and I'm pretty sure he's going to pitch lights out. He's going to have the best baseball of his career. Now he's back in a situation that's beneficial for him and his family. For the Orioles, this is not good. But another article had something interesting to say about what the Orioles' final offer was. And I'm not sure if this is true or not, but if it's true, a lot of fans are going to be upset. Now, an unknown source that has not been identified said that the Baltimore Orioles offered Corbin Burnes a 3-year contract with an opt-out in it after the first year, around $110 million. That's a lot of money for only 2 years. But that's not something Corbin Burnes was looking for. Like I've said before, I think the money amount did not matter in Corbin Burnes' favor. He wanted to go back home. He wanted to be close to the family. And that was the main situation for him. A lot of people want to be angry at Mike Elias, but it's nothing he could have done. Mike Elias tried this offseason. They tried to get Blake Snell. They even tried to get Max Fried. They tried to get Sean Manaea, and then they also tried to get Corbin Burnes. And they swung and missed on all of them. But this rotation is still kind of even, and they still have pieces to go out and get trades. So that's going to take us to our next topic that I know a lot of people will have fun with. What do the Baltimore Orioles do now? Do they go out, get Dylan Cease? Do they go out, get Luis Castillo? Now, Castillo is an interesting name, and I've said he's an interesting name in so many videos. The only situation is, are the Mariners willing to break up that rotation? And we have yet to see that. They're not willing to bring guys in because they don't have the capital of money. They're trying to flush guys out. But honestly, there's no traction going on in Seattle Mariners. So the Baltimore have a better chance going to San Diego, working out a trade with Dylan Cease. Another guy, Tanner Scott. The Baltimore Orioles have to upgrade their bullpen. Right now, their bullpen's pretty average. Going to stay very back-happy. Ciano Perez, Félix Bautista, Yanier Cano, Sir Anthony Dominguez. So many guys that could possibly be in that closer role, that 7th, 8th role. They don't have a guy that could come in the 5th, 4th inning and they go lights out for 2 innings. They need a guy like Tanner Scott. It hurts for the Baltimore because they're such a small market, so they're not going to attract a lot of players unless you spend money. And they have yet to do that. So agents are not going to let their players sign to teams that don't spend money. And I've said that plenty of times before. Mike Elias and David Rubenstein have to extend Gunnar Henderson and Adley Rutschman. to get that perception of this franchise changed. And that's the only thing that's hurting this franchise right now. The Baltimore Orioles cannot sign big signings. They can't bring in guys. Tyler O'Neill is probably going to end up one of their biggest signings in the past 8 years. And Tyler O'Neill is not even thought of a guy as a premier player in the outfield. But that's what the Baltimore Orioles offered. So now, back to Dylan Cease. I think you can work out a good trade scenario with the San Diego Padres. I've said multiple times, Chase McDermott, Heston Kjerstad, Dylan Beavers. That should be enough to get Cease. Now the Orioles are willing to give up on those 3 guys and go out and get a 1-year rental with Cease. And I've said before also that you only acquire Cease if you can get an extension done before the season. The Baltimore just have to be aggressive. And I think Michael Elias have been aggressive. David Rubenstein have been aggressive, but it's just not turning their way. And sometimes that happens in the game of baseball. It's a business, and it's hard for smaller market teams like the Orioles to succeed with so much young talent. That's why they built talent up in the minors, because they knew they didn't have the money at time to go out and attract big free agents. So they had to develop good players in the minors. Now you have to flip all those prospects for premier pitchers. That's the only way this team can reach a World Series. Thank you for joining Orioles Digest. That's all I have for today. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Keep updated. Hit the post notifications. I give you daily updates about the Baltimore Orioles that you don't want to miss. Have a good weekend.